Hello students! In our previous video, we learned that an ecosystem forms the basic building block of an environment. It consists of both biotic and abiotic components and their continuous interactions with each other. Ecosystems can be broadly classified into two types: natural ecosystem and artificial ecosystem. Since this concept is very important for us, let us understand this in detail. A natural ecosystem is the result of interactions between organisms and their surroundings without any human interference. For example, an ocean is a type of natural ecosystem which consists of both biotic components like plants such as algae, marine herbs, shrubs, etc., and animals such as fishes, octopus, corals, etc., and abiotic components such as water, salts, minerals, etc. All these living components and non-living components interact with each other in the natural way. There is no human interference in their interaction. Growth, reproduction, and other activities of all the biotic components are affected by abiotic components, while all these abiotic factors also in turn get affected by the activities of the biotic factors in their natural manner. Once consumers die in this system, decomposers turn them into organic matter. This process occurs naturally over a period of time without any human inputs. So we can see that reproduction and growth of biotic community or their disposal after they are dead is naturally balanced in oceans. The delicate balance of interaction between living and non-living components is also automatically balanced by the mutual process. As we now know that natural ecosystem is self-sustaining and requires no external factors to maintain its balance. To its contrast, artificial ecosystem is not self-sustaining. This means that artificial ecosystem would perish without human interference. Or we can say that to maintain it, to sustain it, there has to be some human inputs. For example, a farm or a garden is an artificial ecosystem. It consists of both biotic factors such as grasses, trees, flower-bearing plants like rose, jasmine, sunflower, and animals like frogs, insects, and birds, and abiotic components like soil, water, rain, temperature, sunlight, manure, etc. If you observe carefully, here also all these living organisms interact with each other and their growth, reproduction, and other activities are affected by biotic components and vice versa. But all these happens outside their natural habitat. Without humans, this ecosystem will not be able to sustain itself. Let us say the plants in farm or garden need the help of humans to survive. They need constant watering, addition of manure and fertilizers to maintain these plants and trees. So we can say that in artificial ecosystem also there is interaction between biotic and abiotic components and they affect each other, but the sustenance and maintenance is done by human interference. Let us see one more example of artificial ecosystem. You might have seen an aquarium. Let us try to design one here if not. What are the things that we need to keep in mind when we create an aquarium? Yes, very simple. The fish would need a free space and water to swim, oxygen to breathe and food to eat. So we can provide fish a space to swim. We can take a big glass container and fill it with water, which will give fish place to swim. We can provide oxygen through an oxygen pump called as aerator, and fish food which is available in the market. Thus, an aquarium is an example of man-made ecosystem. Its biotic components are aquatic plants and animals, while abiotic components are glass tank, aerator, pebbles, stones, etc. An aquarium can be small or large. It depends on the size of tank. A larger tank allows more space and a bigger aquarium, while a smaller tank allows small space and a smaller aquarium to the organisms. Now the question is, students, can we leave this aquarium as such for all the time after we set it up? Why does it have to be cleaned once in a while? Take a pause. Think about it. To answer this, students, decomposition of unused food particles, dead plant parts, and excretory waste of the fishes accumulates in water. And accumulation of these particles increases the concentration of nitrogenous waste and unwanted microorganisms in the tank itself. So the tank becomes polluted and produces gases which are harmful for organisms inside it. And this is the reason tank requires regular cleaning. And while cleaning this tank, 20 to 30% of water is siphoned and replaced by fresh water at regular intervals. But students, take care that we should not remove all the water at a time, as it alters the aquatic ecosystem and removes some bacteria which are useful for fishes. Now students, think that do we have to clean ponds or lakes in the same manner just as we clean aquarium? If yes, then why? And if no, then why not? The answer is definitely not. And to reason this, we can say that as the ponds or lakes are kind of natural ecosystem, and we have already seen that natural ecosystem is self-sustaining. They don't need human interference to maintain their balance. They have their own mechanisms of maintaining the balance on their own. While aquarium was a kind of artificial ecosystem, and so it requires human interference for its maintenance. In ponds or lakes, whenever such dead parts or debris are generated, they get decomposed by decomposers present in the ecosystem, and hence human maintenance is not required. While in aquarium, the debris or dead parts generated are to be removed by humans themselves. So students, with this, let's quickly revise what we have learned from this video. A natural ecosystem is a community of living and non-living entities interacting with each other freely in nature without human intervention. While the artificial ecosystem is a community of living and non-living entities interacting with each other but with human interference. They are made by man for their commercial or other benefits. These ecosystems are modified by humans for their own profit. Natural ecosystems are self-sustaining, while artificial ecosystems are not self-sustaining and so need human support for their maintenance. But students, have you ever thought about structure of these artificial or natural ecosystems? Don't worry, we will see this in the next video, but you can think about it till then.